VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40. That's what we will be doing. So in my lab, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that for the VLAN 10 and for the VLAN 30, I'm going to configure the switch 1 should be the primary, which means that is going to be the active, and the other one will be the standby. So this is going to be my standby. And for the VLAN 20 and 40, just like odd numbers, something like that, I'm going to say this is going to be the active. Okay. So this way, what I'm doing for one network, switch 1 is a gateway, the primary, and for other networks, switch 2 will be the gateway. So like that, if you have 10 VLANs, you can divide them into 5. If you have 20 VLANs, you can divide them into 10, like that, depending upon the number of VLANs or the subnets we have. So in my example, I'm using 4 VLANs, and for 2 VLANs, this is the gateway, and for the remaining 2, this is going to be the gateway. Okay. So this way, I'm going to say the priority value is 120. Here you can see this one, 120 for the VLAN 10. And for the VLAN 20, this is going to be 120 here, which means this is going to be the primary for VLAN 20. Likewise, same way, if you see the next slide here, for the VLAN 30, this is going to be the primary. So VLAN 40, this is going to be the primary. And for the VLAN, VLAN 30, this is going to be the primary. Okay. So this way, we are also doing load sharing, ensuring that both the gateways are being used to forward the traffic. And rest of the commands we already know. The rest of the commands, like the priority value will decide who is going to become the active, preemption is enabled. There's all these things we have already done. Additionally, if you want to add the track, we can add the track. So I'm not getting into that right now because we already seen that in the previous labs already. So what I'll do is we'll quickly go to the switch 1 and we'll start the configuration on the switch 1. So first I'll do the configuration on the switch 1 for the VLAN 10. The IP address is already configured. I don't need to do it again. So I'll simply go to the group 1. Group 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm creating 4 groups for each VLAN. So anyway, the group is on a different interface. So you can still use the same group number, but don't use that. I'll stick to the virtual IP. This is going to be 1.50. And then the priority value is going to be 120 to make this up. And then we enable the preempt, which is something recommended. And for the VLAN 20, the same switch 1 is going to be for the group 2. I'm going to say for the VLAN 20, this is the gateway. And then I'm just enabling the preempt because I want the other switch to become the primary. Okay. And the same thing for the VLAN 30, interface VLAN 30. I'm going to say standby group number 3. The IP address is 150. And then the preempt. Additionally, I want this to be the primary. So I'm going to change the priority value to 120. And the same way now, I'll go to the VLAN 40. I'll say the standby group number 4. And the IP address is 192.168.4.150. That's the gateway. And then the preempt. Okay. So if you see, I just configured for all the 4 interfaces, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40 at once. And the same thing, I'll do it on the switch 2 at once. Okay. So we already understood the configuration. So I'll do this thing. Start for the VLAN 10. The interface VLAN 10. Standby group 1. IP address is going to be the same, 150. And then the preempt, we are not giving the priority value because the other switch is the primary for VLAN 10. And for the VLAN 20, I'm going to use the group number 2, where I'll say the virtual IP is 1.2.150, and then enable the preempt. And then we give the priority value 120. And then we enable the preempt. Our priority value 120, preempt is enabled. Okay, done. Now I'll go to the VLAN 30. On the VLAN 30, we will be saying that the standby group number is 3. The IP address is 192.168.3.150. And then the preempt. And this is not the primary, so I will not change the priority value. And for the VLAN 40, I'm going to say standby. The group number is going to be 4, let's say, the group number, and then 1 into 168, 4.150. So this is not changed here. This is actually 4.150. Okay. So we'll change that later. And I'll say the priority value is 120. Standby. The priority value is 120. I want this to be the primary. So at the same time, enabling the preempt. Okay. So if you say show standby brief, you can see there are 4 different standbys we have configured the groups. And as per my requirement, as you can see, there are priority values different for the VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. And you can see for the VLAN 20, this is the active, and VLAN 40, this is going to be the active. Okay. As of now, this is unknown because it just started the synchronization. I think now it is okay. So that's what the switch to. And likewise, we'll verify the same thing on the switch 1. If I go back to the switch 1, and we'll try to do the verification here as well. In terms of verifications, we can use a command called show standby. When I say show standby on the switch 1, let's view the brief. As you can see, for the VLAN 10 and the VLAN 30, this is the primary, and it is a backup for the other VLANs. So like that, if you have, even if you have 20 VLANs, you can still do a load sharing with this. This is how the configuration goes. And finally, if you want to verify, as per the verifications, this is what we verified. So if I try to initiate the traffic from the first host, which is in the VLAN 10, already we have configured. The first thing I'm expecting, the reply should come because we have already configured the virtual gateway. So because if you see the virtual gateway is already configured, HSRP is already enabled. I'm able to reach out the internet before and after. And if you try to trace out and see, it goes through which gateway. So it's going from 100, I think 1.100, that is my primary gateway. So as per this, it must be going from this one, 1.100. That's the virtual IP. This is the first host. And likewise, I'll go to the second one. The second host, which is also 2.150. The first thing I'll try to reach out, the reply should come for the VLAN 20 users. And likewise, if you say trace to 12.001, I should see it goes through 101, which is the second gateway, which means the VLAN 20 is using switch 2 to reach out this one. So similar way, I'll go to the VLAN 30 and VLAN 40 for a quick verifications. This is my VLAN 30, I think. Let's keep it on the left side. And the VLAN 40, I'm expecting the VLAN 40 will be using the right side switch. So the first thing, I'll try to check the reachability. This is very important. Make sure that this is just closed. Let me just quickly start that one. As you can see, this one is working. The VPC, this one is automatically closed. I think there is some issue. I'll just stop it and start it again. So let's quickly check IP. I think the IP address is 192.168.3.1, 255.255, and the gateway is 192.168.3.150. So as per this, if I try to ping to the internet routes, I'm getting a reply. And if you see the trace for the same, I'm expecting it should go from 100, which is the primary gateway. And here, if you try to trace 12.001, it is going from 101. So at the end, it's going to work the same way as we did in the load balancing with the routers. But when it comes to the bigger scenarios, you will be using the VLAN. So here we try to verify the same configurations with the VLAN configuration. So the more VLANs you have, you don't need to worry. Additionally, we'll also see there will be additional track commands like we did. You can add the track commands. I'm not adding it here because already we verified how to add the tracking for each and every interface. If you just wanted to add the track, let me just quickly do that if you want. additional, let's go to the switch one and we'll configure the track objects. I'll just add this part of the initial config. So we'll do it on the switch one and switch two. And the tracking has to be done only on the primary ones. So on the switch two, I'll add the track object. Let's say track two, IP reachability, IP route 0000. I'm going to say the reachability to this route. And then I'm going to say interface VLAN 30. Interface VLAN 30. I think this is on the VLAN 20. Standby group number 2, track 2, decrement value 21. The same thing for the VLAN 40 I have to do. So I can use the same track. I don't need to create again. So this is going to be for the group 4, right? And the same thing on the switch one also. I need to create a track object. So let me copy this because it's the same command on the side as well. And then here for the VLAN 10 and 30, this is the primary. So I'm going to say standby group 1, track 2, decrement value is 21. And the same thing for the VLAN 30, I have to do it. Standby group number is 3. Now again, you can shut down the interface and you can verify. That's something already we did. So additionally, these are the additional things you can add. If you want, you can add the timers, you can add the authentication options. So then it's going to be the same configurations here as well. Okay. So this is something what you need to understand, especially with a mix of VLANs. And most of the other concepts like spanning tree, those are not going to disturb. So the only thing you need to keep in mind, especially as we are using the VLAN, so the VLAN configurations and the trunks and the SVI configurations are perfectly configured. If there is any issue with them or any misconfiguration, then it's going to impact end-to-end routing. Okay, so always check the end-to-end routing before HSRP and ensure that everything is perfect before HSRP, and then you simply configure the HSRP and verify the labs.